Top of the morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this great Friday morning. Today is Friday, the 10th day in the month of April 2026. And from the studios of Wells Radio 89.3 FM, it is 6:32 a.m. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us on Perspectives Unlimited, the program where we take you beyond the news to help you understand better stories making the rounds from major dailies in Nigeria for the day. We bring you the program up and early. And of course, this is the weekend edition of the program. The program comes to you from Monday up until Friday with the round table on Saturday from 8 a.m. Right here on this same radio dial, 89.3 FM. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ojo. Welcome to the program for today. I hope you had a great time all through the week. Of course, with the new fresh voice of Kunle, I'm sure you're having a smooth and, of course, fresh morning with stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria. Great morning to you. 89.3 FM, once again, is where we're broadcasting from, and the dial that you're listening to. We're live here right inside Wells Broadcasting House along Galafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ojo. Great morning. We start with the front pages of the dailies. On the Punch for today on page 7, federal government insists Nigeria safe as United States pulls embassy officials. Major story on the Punch on page 2, fresh blow for ADC as state congresses stall. The three riders to the story. The first one says court halt at Damawa Congress, Anambra, Ondo, Zamfara put on hold. Kaduna Osun faction pull out, mixed outcome in Kebbi, Sokoto and in Plateau. ADC asked Abuja court to void INEC's decision on Mac Aregbesola. And I'm still on the front page of the Punch for today. On page 7, Borno attack. Army general, terrorist killed, Tinubu mourned on page 7. And on page 9, Nigeria, poverty hit 63% despite easing inflation, says the World Bank. On page 43, power outages, insecurity, top business challenges, CBN survey. And of course, we move away from the Punch and then we move on to the Nigerian Tribune. Petrol price may hit 2,000 naira per litre. TUC wants federal government to subsidize crude and fast-track CNG infrastructure. On page 5, leadership crisis. David Mark led ADC praise court to reverse INEC's decision. And of course, the major story here on the Tribune, which is a sad story in Borno, dark day in Borno State. Brigadier General orders killed in Benin Sheki military base attack. Troops neutralize scores of insurgents. Tinubu mourns with families, describing fallen heroes as unforgettable heroes. Federal government push back as the United States orders embassy employees families to leave Abuja. Southern Middle Belt leaders, federal government too soft on terrorists. Call for abolition of Operation Open Corridor. And of course, the condolence message of the president is right here. I extend my condolences to the families of great gallant soldiers led by Brigadier General Hussaini Omar Brahima, who made the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our country today in Borno State. The government will never forget their sacrifices. Their sacrifices will not be in vain because of the courage and dedication of our troops on the front line. Our resolve to defeat terrorism and all forms of violence across Nigeria is stronger than ever before. NADDC Son launch VAKE app to strengthen vehicle safety industry standards on page 12. United Bank of Africa drives youth empowerment with graduate program, equips over 700 young professionals. Nigeria calls on United Nations to promote fair hydrogen economy. And of course, from there, we move on to the Vanguard. World Bank downgrades Nigeria's 2026 economic growth to 4.1%. ADC sues INEC, demands recognition of Mark AGBEYEWO. Page 7 Army General feared killed in Boko Haram attack in Borno community. On page 9, United Nations orders non-emergency staff to leave Abuja embassy. And of course, which is a special report here, cutthroat rent hike worsening Nigeria housing crisis. How landlords, estate agents exploit tenants with arbitrary rent fees. Why rent is skyrocketing, what Nigeria should do. Low incomes, high building costs, weak mortgage system, others figured. And 550,000 housing units needed yearly to overcome 15 million deficit in 10 years. And on page 8, on the foreign and Middle East crisis, call grows for inclusion of Lebanon in peace deal. On page 8, on page 38, until we come together, nobody will fix Nigeria for us, says Olusegun Obasanjo. And that's all we can take from the front page or pages of the dailies we read from this morning. We read from the Punch newspaper to the Nigerian Tribune and, of course, the Vanguard, all published today, the 10th day in the month of April 2026. Once again, welcome to the program.
What is crucial is the fact that you manage the process to the extent there will be no confusion, no disenfranchisement of Nigerians, and that we are all going to see democracy flourish. It is time that we have confidence in our system. No matter how good a system is, it's managed by the people, promoted by the people, and the result is finalized.
What happened was a collaboration of INEC against the interests of the Nigerian people. So today, the Nigerian people are speaking in one voice, in unison, saying no, that what they want to do is to have a one-party state, and we say no.
Power is in your hand, not in anybody's hand. If you allow them, they will continue. Don't forget when we were in APC, we chased PDP out. It's our time to chase away APC. No collaboration! No collaboration!
The INEC interpretation has deprived us of our proper status, and that's what we petitioned INEC, that they should revise themselves and give the proper interpretation of the status quo ante-bellum.
We are here to make a very bold statement that the solidarity for INEC and the leadership of INEC continues. That we are sensitive, we are conscious, and we are on ground. That we will continue to support INEC, we will continue to solidarize with INEC, and we will continue to protect that institution.
welcome back to the program. Thank you for joining us once again. Still Perspectives Unlimited on 89.3 FM. You just listen to activities on, on the site where the protest of ADC members present at that protest was, of course, is it the chairman? We'll call him now, Senator David Mark, Rauf Aregbesola, and of course some other dignitaries there, and other Nigerians joining or who joined them for that protest, and of course a counter protest of some other Nigerians coming out to defend INEC. I think a few hours after that particular one. Once again, 89.3 FM is the program. We're diving straight into the conversation for this morning. Get set. But remember, the goal of some of these stories is not to, make you feel bad or to, shape your day. Rather, to not let the headlines, do not let them make you feel sad. Use them as your point of contact to getting information. And if you want to pray about them, you can also extract your prayer point from them. So say to yourself, the stories and the headlines will not depress me. I'll listen to them, and Nigeria will be a great nation. With me in the studio this morning, Mr. Lali Konsoni joins me in the studio. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm well, thank you so much. I feel like I should join the astronauts. Talking about the astronauts, though, I think this is like the first time ever that I seem to be paying attention to anything of such. And not because I don't know about it, but I just paid closer attention to it as the images and the footages are just mind-blowing. I started one of them, and I looked at the image of the Earth from the moon, and I can see how it is moving. And I said to myself, so you are suspended somewhere. And it feels like some people are at the top, some people are at the side, some people are on the side looking at how it's moving. And no one is falling off.
Okay.
Yes, no one is falling off. You don't feel at any time like your house is shaking or something. And then I imagine when someone says there is no God. So who made all of that? Who suspended all of that?
Personally, I know too well that there is a God. I know that too well. But what you saw is just a very, very, very tiny fraction of the galaxy. Things are different this time around. It's not just people going into space for exploration or to see what's happening. What is happening right now is something that happened last around 50 years ago.
Right.
A journey to the moon. This time around, they didn't set foot on the moon. They're only having a drive-by to see what's happening from there. But I don't know if you have seen a picture of the entire galaxy with all planets and all of that. There is no way you will not be marveled. And as regards why people are not falling, there is a particular term for it in geophysics. It has to do with gravity and all of that. Things are in layers. No matter how hot it is, if you are able to go up just by a couple of hundreds of meters, it is actually freezing cold up there. And I realized that just this week. People have been saying that, sometimes it rains ice, it does this, it does that. I never believed until this week. And I'm talking about Tuesday to be precise. Right. I saw it with my two eyes.
Oh, it's
somewhere outside of Ibadan. It rained ice.
And I have seen that before, though. Here in Ibadan.
It was my first time of seeing it on Tuesday, and I was like, wow, there is a God.
There is a God. Indeed, there is a God. All right, let's get to stories for, in the news for today. And of course, the biggest one this week is the ADC protest. Then that reminds me of the protest during the subsidy. Is it subsidy? No, not subsidy.
And bad governance.
And bad governance.
Or
and one other time, not NSAS. The one other time. Maybe end bad governance would be a thing, but we had one at the time where, I think Goodluck Jonathan was president and some of the key figures came out, which includes, of course, the current president.
Occupy Nigeria.
Occupy Nigeria. Of course, this, though not as powerful as that particular one.
That was January 2012.
Yes, January 2012. Thank you so much. There was a national strike, I think, at the time. You know. Yes, the story here on the Vanguard says ADC sues INEC, demands recognition of Mark Aregbesola. The African Democratic Congress ADC has filed a suit before the Federal High Court in Abuja seeking an order compelling INEC to restore the names of Senator David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola as the party's national chairman and national secretary respectively. The suit followed the removal of their names alongside other members of the party National Working Committee (NWC) from INEC's official portal on the 1st of April. In a motion on notice dated the 7th of April, filed by counsel to Mark Usman Sulaiman SAN, the plaintiff is asking the court to issue a mandatory injunction directing INEC to reinstate the affected officials as exited before the dispute. The application brought under Order 26, Rule 1 of the 4 High Court civil procedures, as well as the court inherent jurisdiction, and seek 3 principal relief. Part of the relief read an order of mandatory injunction setting aside a decision, act or directive of the respondent, removing the name of the applicant of the NWC from its official portal, and the decision of refusal to attend or monitor the applicant's Congress or convention pending the hearing of the determination of the suit. Where are we going with all of this? It's almost yam pepe scatter at the moment. Different words. And one other thing I realized from the protest, which is going to be a question I'll direct at you, is that do we still have the Labour Party? There are some key figures of the Labour Party also present at the protest. In fact, some of the text caption across some of the television also refer to them as chieftain or members of the Labour Party. And of course, this is about the ADC. I'd like you to answer that alongside, where all of this is taken. The major opposition party, I believe, at the moment as we approach the 2027 election.
Thank you very much. Let's start from the last point. You would realize that the biggest boy in the Labour Party is now in the ADC, and I'm talking about Peter Obi. There are a lot of people who are still in the Labour Party, but have their allegiance and to Peter Obi. I believe personally that the only governor under the platform of the Labour Party is someone who is working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's my personal belief. I'm talking about Oti here. He has said it directly. He has said it through his proxies that he has no reason not to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. And that is not what should be coming out of the mouth of a major politician, especially if you are from the opposition camp. But be that as it may, politics is a land of trickery. On Tuesday, there was a protest. And in the course of the protest, we had, in my opinion, the legitimate owners of the ADC. The legitimate owners are said by INEC. In the affidavits sworn by INEC in September of last year, they said they were the venue where the David Mark-led group of the party actually took over the leadership of the party. And according to the affidavit that INEC swore under Mahmoud Yakubu, they said everything went seamlessly and everything was in consonance with the Constitution, Electoral Act, and all relevant laws. The reason why people are in court today is because, in my opinion, Joash Amokbiton did something very, very nasty and bad. He is a professor of law. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria. I know too well that he understood clearly what the Court of Appeal said. He was only being mischievous when he was interpreting what the Court of Appeal said. The Court of Appeal said that revert to status quo ante bellum. What that means is that go back to where you were before there was crisis. I mean, that was binding on INEC, that was binding on the David Mark faction of the party, that was binding on the Nafiu Balagombe faction of the party. Go back to where you were before any of you came to court. And where were they before anybody went to court? David Mark was the chairman of the party, and Agboyewo was the secretary of the party. But in interpreting, albeit intentionally wrongly, Joash Akpiton did what, in my opinion, he does not have the power to do. He removed the leadership of a political party. You don't have the right to do that as INEC. Your duty is to listen to the members of the party. Who is your leader? And according to the past chairman of INEC, David Mark is the chairman of the party. No court has said that remove the... That is a very heavy thing to do, especially when it's less than a year to a general election. If a court wants you to remove the leadership of a party, it will be expressly stated, remove this guy as the chairman of the party. No court said that. Rather, what the court said that, go back to where you were before conflict started. That is actually the literal meaning of status quo ante bellum. Go back to where you were before conflict started. They protested, they called Amokmito on all sorts of names, which I believe that are due. He deserves those names. And they said, we don't have much to say to you. Just do what the Court of Appeal has said. I personally believe that the David Mark faction of the party made a mistake by going to the Court of Appeal when they went to the Court of Appeal. And they should have stayed at the Federal High Court. Nephew Balagombe came to the Federal High Court to say that, okay, do you recognize David Mark? Make me the chairman. He said all of those things. But the court said, I cannot just do that. Rather, notify INEC, notify the David Mark faction of the party, and let them tell us why I shouldn't do what you are doing. That was what led to the affidavit that INEC swore in September of last year, that this guy is just a jester. We were there when this guy resigned, so don't take him seriously. The David Mark camp of the party should have also submitted their own affidavit telling the court why they should not entertain Nephew Balagombe. And as stated by the Supreme Court last year, the court has no business interfering in party matters. Once INEC certifies that everything has gone well, don't come to any court of law here. In fact, it is stated that should you come to court frivolously, you yourself will pay 10 million and your lawyer will pay 10 million as well. That is what Supreme Court said. But I mean, that's what the Electoral Act says. But instead of the David Mark camp of the party, mentioning all of these things, they went straight to the Court of Appeal to say that, because the Supreme Court said this, tell the Court of Appeal, tell the Federal High Court not to listen to this guy. You can't do that. The only thing you can take to the Court of Appeal is an existing judgment that you are not comfortable with. For as long as there is no judgment, you cannot go to the Court of Appeal. That is a mistake they made. Now they are back at the Federal High Court. And I know too, unless they want to be totally dramatic, I don't want to say silly. I'm talking about judiciary. I mean, it's simple, it's straightforward. David Mark should be the chair of the party, and I believe he will be the chair of the party very soon.
All right, APC doesn't want 2027 polls. Kenneth Okonkwo. Meanwhile, the ADC chieftain, Kenneth Okonkwo, has accused the ruling APC of plotting to undermine opposition parties ahead of the 2027 general elections. Speaking to journalists in Enugu, Okonkwo, who is also a member of the NWC, alleged that the APC is using state institutions and internal collaborators to destabilize the ADC. All fingers are pointing at the APC and that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at some of the, inscriptions on the placards and banners at the protest, everything is pointing at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No matter how smart you are, there is no way you can defend the APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu or what is happening without looking stupid. When they started with the Labour Party, it was obvious that the drama within the Labour Party was coming from the side. When it started with the PDP, it was also very obvious that, look at the guy they are sponsoring in the ADC. This is a guy who was struggling to eat in Abuja. He didn't have a car, didn't have a life of his own in Abuja. Now the guy is permanently staying in Transcorp Hilton. He goes around with a huge with a huge retinue of security guys, with a long convoy and all of that. Who exactly is bankrolling that? Is it you? Is it me? We all know who is financing that. But what I'm trying to say here is that, like Kwankwaso said, you are a small boy of 35 years. You have a long way to go. You need to be extremely careful. What you are doing right now, you have consequences for the rest of your life. You are dealing with somebody who is close to 90. Someone who is close to 90 is pushing you to destroy your own future, and you are following him. Be sure of what you are doing. And he ended by saying that I admonish his parents to talk to him. I admonish his traditional rulers in Gombe to talk to him, and also his clerics, if he has any, to talk to him. He needs to be guided. And that is also my admonition to the guy. He clearly doesn't know what he is doing. And what he is doing is something that could have consequences. I mean, I believe too well that it's not just going to be Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027.
But how strong would the other contenders be?
I believe that
it's about the strength.
I mean,
for instance, if you look at a state like Oyo State, for instance, where the question of who, will be contesting for the gubernatorial office in the PDP, while it may seem impossible that the party would come out without or would not present a candidate, who would the person be? And how strong would that person be as against whoever the APC would be bringing forward?
Thank you.
Is that not just a declaration of the winner from the beginning?
As regards the center, I'm talking about the federal government here. I have a very strong belief that the guys who are currently running the coalition today will have a candidate. I know that too well. I have that hunch.
Still under the same ADC that...
Be it ADC, be it AAA, be it JJJ, I believe that they are going to contest. I know that. Because these are guys who understand politics very, very well. A lot of them even understand politics much better than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I used to believe, now wrongly, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu understands politics. Now I understand that the guy doesn't really understand politics. For the PDP in Oyo State, the VK camp of the PDP is certainly going to present a candidate. But trust me, it's going to be someone who may not even know the slogan of the PDP. They will present a candidate they know too well will not be able to challenge the APC. But I can also tell you that the Seyi Makinde faction of the PDP will present a candidate. It may not be, the guy may not carry the flag of the PDP, but they will have their own candidate.
Their own candidate. Yes. All right, still on the program.
You may kill a party, but you can never kill a dream.
You can never, okay.
That is it.
Okay, the future of the party in itself, what happens to it?
Well, parties come, parties go. I know too well that we all can remember how strong the PDP was, 28 governors and all of that. Where is the party today? I know too well that the same, in fact, a worse fate awaits the APC. The day they leave the center is the day the party disintegrates. Give it 3 months, they will struggle to have one House of Assembly member.
Our kind of politics. We'll take a break right now. When we come back right after that break, we will take other stories and still to come this morning. United States Embassy, Abuja, suspend visa appointment after security warning. And of course, that major story, Army General feared killed in Boko Haram attack. We'll look at that and more when we come back. Stay with us.
Do you want to eat and stay healthy? Are you looking for healthy, high-quality chickens? Do you desire to start your own poultry farm? SMC Foods is your reliable plug for your healthy chickens. We specialize in the sales of premium and healthy chickens and poultry produce. We offer consultation services for your poultry farm setups. We are located at Oluyole Extension, Olusoji, Ibadan. To place your order or for enquiries, call Modupeola on 0813-970-3731. At SMC Foods, we are reliable, tested, and trusted.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 08 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it, with delivery to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel, with our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Family is not defined by blood, events, headlines, or frequencies. It's our shuffled feet in the busy streets, the levity of the birds upon the brown rooftops, indigenous, nuclear. A blue sky coming to greet us on a sunless morning, safe, clean, wholesome, somewhere between truth and fiction. Wells Radio 89.3 FM Oluyole Estate, a gallery built from mere words of culture, heritage, music, brush strokes visible on an artwork, the rhythm of repetition. Family is not defined by blood, it is togetherness, heirlooms in diaspora, with open arms to embrace through thick and thin. This home, your family, this radio is your radio. My name is Jesu Joba Isaac. We keep listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. It's 7 minutes past 7 o'clock this morning, right here from our studio. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893. Those are the studio lines to engage us this morning on some of the stories in the news today. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893. We go to the Vanguard. Army General feared killed in Borno in Boko Haram attack. Brigadier General of the Joint Task Force in Benin Shekai Kaga local government area of Borno State, Brigadier General Ho Brahima, has reportedly been killed in a Boko Haram attack on Thursday. According to sources, many insurgents were also killed. A social media post by one Malam Lawal said Boko Haram has again, unfortunately, succeeded in eliminating the commander officer of that squad. This unfortunate incident occurred last night, according to reports, when the insurgents stormed the military formation in numbers. May their souls, or may the souls of the fallen heroes rest in peace, he said. Meanwhile, the chairman of the local government, Honorable Zana Jimmy, confirmed the killing of the brigadier commander. He said, and I quote, "Yes, we just left the military base now, and I can confirm to you that the commander is among the casualties," he stated, and more details to come later. If we look at the front page of the Tribune this morning, the condolence message of the president is there, saying, "I extend my condolences to the families of our gallant soldiers, led by Brigadier General Hosseini Omar Brahima, who made the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our country today in Borno State. The government will never forget their sacrifices. Their sacrifice will not be in vain because of the courage and dedication of our troops on the front line. Our resolve to defeat terrorism and all forms of violence across Nigeria is stronger than ever before." President Bola Tinubu. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes,
can
good
you
morning.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Ruth calling from Malakia.
Good morning, Ruth. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You know, the rising in killings and kidnapping of citizens and security personnel demand urgent attention from the government. Because if stronger steps had been taken earlier, this crisis might have been avoided. But it's so sad that attention has been focused on 2027 abortion. They keep sending more messages. They wait for condolence. Is that what we want? We want action from the government. They need to act fast. So we can't continue like this. Innocent lives are being killed daily. See the way they keep attacking military. So what will not be our own fate? We don't even have any gun to even protect ourselves. This is so sad. They need to do the needful. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. All right, let's look at the Army General that was killed in a Boko Haram attack. Although report says that, of course, some of the insurgents were also killed. Let me get your thoughts in here.
Thank you very much. I mean, this is actually depressing. Minding what it takes to become a general, I mean, this is one attack too many. Is it the first one? Nope. Is it the second one? Nope. How sure are we it's the last one? Hopefully. We can only pray it is the last one. It's not just about generals dying. It's about us losing good guys. I mean, these are things that shouldn't be happening. On that particular Wednesday night, they struck one military base. They overran it. 70 kilometers from that particular place, they struck another one and overran it. 100 kilometers from the first point, they struck another one and they overran it. I did my own intelligence gathering, and trust me there, brother, there is no evidence that just one bad boy was killed. I'm talking about one terrorist.
Which contradicts whatever we have in the news that many incidents were killed.
In the three incidents, there is no evidence to this very present point that just one of them was killed. Please permit me to flash back to what happened in Niger State. Tuesday morning, broad daylight, this guy is struck in Niger State. I saw videos of people scrambling out of that city on motorbikes, on their feet and all of that. Guess what? When the army and SSS wanted to report the story, they said they killed a lot of bad boys. When in reality, it was the bad boys that killed a lot of people. At least 20 people got killed between Kwara and Niger that particular day. At least 20 people were killed. Now, instead of telling us the truth, they are now twisting what is on the ground. And that is evil. You are losing your men. That is a very, 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 very terrible thing to do. To lose your men when you are the commander-in-chief, you are the CDS, you are the COS. I mean, we also what happened when two military personnel lost their coordinates in Iran. We also what the US did to get those guys out. Now people are dying like they are houseflies. And instead of even admitting that they are dying, you are saying, no, it's not our people that are dying, it's actually the bad boys. I mean, that's evil. That's a different tier of evil. And if that is what we are going to keep doing, trust me, things will keep degenerating because you won't have enough facts to confront what is on the ground. I mean, Nigerians should be very, very hungry. But if they are now mixing A with B to say, oh, no, it's not us that are dying, it's actually those bad boys. No,
let's take this call. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Please speak up so we can hear you. Good morning. I don't care from Muslim. All right, I don't care. Oh, we lost that call. I don't care. Please do call us back.
What I'm saying is this. For each and every military base, we need to have drones in the air that will be there constantly monitoring what is happening. And it's not just 100 meters to the entrance of the base. I'm talking about maybe 5 kilometers from the entrance of the base so that you can at least see what is happening before you are struck.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so the government are going to overcome this of insecurity. Just take a look at the killings up and down. When are we going to overcome this? So as I was the federal government that they should please try and do everything possible to put an end to the insecurity we are facing in the country because it is tiring. And all what they only look forward to is the 2027 election. So who will vote for them come 2027 if they refuse to do the needful? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adironke,
and
for your thoughts.
The question I want to ask the president is this. Is he actually the commander-in-chief or the monarch-in-chief? I mean, I don't want a monarch-in-chief. I want a commander-in-chief who is going to bring peace to my land. Not someone who continuously say, oh, I sympathize, or I empathize, or I condole, I do. I mean, that is not what interests me. Nobody elected you to do that. You are not a pastor, you are not an imam. I mean, you have the paraphernalia of office. And what you should be doing with this thing is to make sure that Nigerians live a decent life. But no, it's about, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Less than 24 hours, the same thing happens. This is happening simply because of the fact that instead of focusing on governance, Mr. President is focusing on politics.
Let's take this comment on Facebook. Sulaiman Serif says, good morning and happy lovely Friday. If terrorists can invade military base and carry out their operation successfully, then what will happen to civilian bases? Why can't the government of APC declare a state of emergency in those troubled states? I don't know when Mr. President would stop mourning instead of taking genuine actions to fight and stop insecurity ravaging our country, Nigeria. Sulaiman Sharif right there on Facebook. Adekunle Ojo Christiana says, good morning. Thank you so much for joining the program. Let's go to Abuja. United States Embassy suspends visa appointment after security warning. The United States Embassy in Abuja has announced that the suspension of visa appointments in the nation's capital, directing affected applicants to wait further instructions. In an X handle, the embassy said the U.S. Embassy in Abuja is closed for visa appointments. Applicants should check their emails for details on rescheduled appointment. Visa operations at the U.S. Consulate General, Lagos continue. American Citizen Service are available in emergencies and by appointment. The tweet, of course, made the rounds on social media. The department comes amid heightened security concern flagged by the United States Department of State, which has ordered the departure of non-essential staff and their family members from Abuja. In a travel advisory issued on Wednesday, the department urged American citizens to reconsider travel to Nigeria from the 8th of April, citing risks including crime, terrorism, kidnapping, civil unrest, and limited health care services. The advisory places Nigeria on the level 3 reconsider travel, while 23 states have been designated level 4 do not travel. 23 states, including a further escalation in security concerns. And despite the closure in Abuja, visa processing continues in Lagos, while emergency and appointment-based security remain available for only American citizens. How many states do we have?
36.
How many states?
23.
23 declared do not travel. And
sir,
of course, consider level 3, consider travel to just a few selected.
The truth of the matter is that
states.
I listened to the reasons that you reeled out just moments ago. And I can tell you that the one that strikes me the most of them all is the one that says civil unrest. If you know how to gauge the mood of a country, Nigeria is very, very close to a wild civil unrest. I don't want that to happen, but I can sense it. Imagine what happens the day, God forbid, the judiciary stamps this mediocrity, this disrespect for plural democracy, and says that the ADC is not valid, that David Mark is not going to be the chair of the party.
Imagine.
For the very first time in the history of this country, all ethnic groups are now focusing on one particular party. Now, I know too, I've never been a fan of the incumbent president, but a lot of people who are his fans are now saying that we need to look elsewhere. Igbo folks through Peter Obi are looking towards the ADC. Northern folks through Atiku and Kwankwaso are looking towards the ADC. You are now telling them that that party will not be on the ballot. Can you predict what's going to happen? If it's a case of national security, national terrorism, and all of that, they would have said close Lagos too. But rather they said leave Abuja because the court is sitting in Abuja. INEC is in Abuja. Everything is in Abuja. If you want to strike anything, it's Abuja. And they said Abuja. It's not just a case of we are not interested in your country. It's actually about leave as soon as possible. They have taken their people out of this country.
Absolutely. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. George. How are you today?
Yeah, well, thank God. I want to remind you of what I said some time ago.
Go ahead, sir.
If we don't take time, this country is going to be plunged into complete confusion. When I said that maybe we should fold our hands and allow this man to have a second term, it looks as if I have been defeated. But that is exactly what he wants to do, and he will do everything to do it. Nigeria is bigger than one person. What Tinubu is doing now is completely wrong. I pray that God will help this country to sustain this course so that we save our democracy. We are really seeing something that looks so confusing in the future, but it's only God that can make things to work for the interest of the masses of this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. George.
I can tell you free of charge. Should the court now say, okay, the ADC can stand through David Mark and co. In less than 2 weeks, they will come back to Abuja. I'm talking about the U.S. Embassy in Abuja. They will reopen it.
So are you saying that...
it is more of politics than terrorism.
So the United States is in solidarity with the ADC?
Not in solidarity. They're actually protecting their head. They know too well that
should
things go the other side, things can happen in a flash. I'm not saying things are going to happen, but things may happen in a flash, and they won't want to be caught in all of that.
The federal government here, if you look at the Punch, the Nigerian Tribune this morning, federal government pushes back as U.S. order embassy employee family to leave Abuja.
They have actually left yesterday.
Yeah,
they all went back to
the federal government is pushing back on that order.
What do you expect them to say? Nobody will admit that it's a failure, when in reality the federal government of today is a very big failure. But they will still won't admit that they are failing. The World Bank came to say that, okay, last month, the total percentage of the people of the country living under the poverty line, other poverty line was 62%. Now it is 63%, telling you that things are getting worse. I mean, everybody knows that things are getting worse. Even the president himself, I like him. He doesn't really know how how to lie. 2024, he said, I will not be celebrating my birthday because of the mood of the country. Things are not okay economically. Yeah. 2025, the same thing. 2026, the same thing. 3 years out of 4, you have admitted with your own mouth.
What do you call celebration?
Celebration is where you have
the fleet of billboards all over town.
The billboard. The billboard wasn't done by
branded T-shirts and the face caps all over the city.
That wasn't done by Bola.
How do we call that celebration?
A celebration is
how
where
about
you
the president cautioning these people not to do that?
Maybe you pick the call and I'll explain.
Let's take this. Hello, good morning to you, and thank you for calling.
Hello, good morning, IGBEYWO.
Good morning,
Benga Mario.
How are you
thank
today?
You very
good
much.
Morning.
I'm not fine. I'm not fine.
It is well. You'll be
looking
okay.
At the brigadier general that was killed yesterday, it doesn't make me to be fine. And when I heard that, since that yesterday, I've been so moody. But what brought laughter to my mind this morning was when Chief Sanni said that the PDP aspirant that will come out from the case wing will not be able to even tell the mantra of the party. I just busted into laughter. And it is what it is. But that's aside. Let the president and those in charge ensure that the life of those soldiers are being cared. For how long are we going to lose soldiers? See, we are only talking about that brigadier general. Only many other soldiers are being killed, and they have families back home. It's so painful. Do you know what it takes to be a brigadier general in the Nigerian army of today? It is so sad, and we don't want a record of this again anymore. Record the other general that was being killed. I think General Musa, what is his name?
Right.
That was being intercepted when he was in Borno. So the thing is, it's getting too much. The life of our soldiers are precious, and the life of Nigerians are precious. Mr. President, please do something on this issue. It is getting out of hand. Recall what the U.S. government said. They said they have to evacuate their embassy staff from this country, telling us a signal that Nigeria is no longer safe. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Benga Mario. Thank you for calling as well.
A birthday party, going by the way and pattern the current president used to celebrate it, was having a colloquium. I mean, it's titled the Bola Ahmed Tinubu colloquium. Since he became president, it has not happened because of the mood of the country. But before he became president, it was happening yearly. That's one. Number two, you now line up with yourself, your wife, your children, good people around you to cut a cake with your musician doing whatever he can do to make your head swell up. That is a birthday party going by what we do in Nigeria. But since he became president, he has not been doing that simply because of, quote unquote, the mood of the country. It tells you clearly that he knows within himself that he has done a very poor job.
All right, the federal government on Thursday insisted that Nigeria continue to maintain a stable security environment and help citizens to remain calm. That's, of course, the pushback. For what the United States.
It's the Minister of Information doing one or two things to justify his salary. He's only saying that for people to know that there's a guy in that particular office. But in terms of what's actually on the ground, we know to all that things are degenerating in this country.
All right, I have the story here on the Vanguard, but I probably would leave it for Wazobia platform. It looks like their jurisdiction, but I'll still mention that though. Cutthroat rent hikes worsen Nigeria's housing crisis.
We live in a country where if you want to live in a decent place, your rent is most certainly higher than your salary.
Absolutely.
And it shouldn't be.
You're seeing the rent of a 3-bedroom apartment in a decent area in Ibadan.
Meals.
I'm even talking about Ibadan now. You're talking about ₦1 million
plus.
And on the average, say $1 million.
Okay.
And then agent fee. And
the total package.
The total package.
That's the total package.
And then
I think the 1.6.
The caution, the
legal.
It's just ridiculous.
Man.
It's highly ridiculous.
And the government is not doing anything
these
about
days,
that.
it's just It's just ridiculous. I mean,
and it's not just in Ibadan; it's everywhere now.
It's
everywhere.
very ridiculous.
Can you blame homeowners? Do you know how much a bag of cement goes for now? Do you know how much a bucket of paint goes for now? Do you know how much a ton of steel goes for now? These are the issues. All
right. Finally, before we go, TUC demands subsidy to cushion the rising fuel price in the nation. The Trade Union Congress has called on the federal government to deploy excess crude oil revenue to subsidize local refineries as a way of cushioning the impact of the rising fuel prices in Nigeria. Maybe I ask you, how do you think the government should help Nigerians manage the biting, situation of this hardship? We have just about a minute to go. Petrol price may also hit 2,000 naira per litre, says the TUC.
I just hope and pray the ceasefire currently happening in the Middle East subsists. Otherwise, it may even exceed 2,000 naira. Let's now go back to how the federal government can help. Number one is to give oil to Dangote at a subsidized rate. I said that long before the crisis started, because for me, selling petrol at the rate of 700 naira is even
high,
a path to crisis in Nigeria for me. Now we talk of 1,003 that thing is now going for. The federal government needs to step in by giving crude to Dangote at a subsidized rate. Give it to Dangote at the cost of production, so that when Nigerians want to pay, they are going to pay. So, and it's still going to be the federal government that will sit down with Dangote. This is how much we are giving this thing to you. This is your cost of refining, and this is how much your own profit margin is going to be. So sell to the people at this particular rate. That is number one. Number two, since the government has made so much money in the name of oil and for, the budget was, the plan for 2026 was $65 per barrel. Now it's, because of the ceasefire, it's going for around 96. That's still $31 extra. Bring out money and do direct subsidy. I'm not a very big fan of direct subsidy, but instead of having what's on the ground, I'll still permit direct subsidy. What is on the ground right now is stifling. It is. The result is there. The World Bank told us that last month it was 62%. Now it's 63%. I even believe that, and that's even on the low side. It's actually worse than that. So the government needs to step in. But do I expect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do that? If you want him to do that, attach it to 2027. If you can find a way to say 2027, Mr. President, if you want to win, do this, he may listen to you. But if it's not connected to 2027, yeah, brother, you are your own.
It is well with us. Thank you so much for your time today.
It is always an honor to be here.
All right, Mr. President, and of course, it's Mr. President's handlers. Things are getting extremely hand to hand for a lot of Nigerians. Businesses are suffering. As a matter of fact, even for broadcasters like ourselves, it's been a very challenging time to keep up operation, just because the cost of production, the cost of putting out content, and the same goes for other businesses. A liter of diesel at about 1,800 and even more in some other places. How about small business owners who cannot even afford to buy PMS into their generators to ice their drinks and the likes? The cost of powering generator, even for tailors, is extremely on the high side. How about families? Total, and even total darkness. It's indeed concerning, and we hope that our government today will indeed feel the pulse of Nigerians and act accordingly and fix Nigeria, because Nigeria belongs to all of us. And when we smile, we can indeed say that the government is working. God bless Nigeria. Put a big smile on your face, because all will be well. If you believe, then keep listening to 89.3 FM, Wells Radio. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Tired of listening to the same old content? Tune in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, the only radio other radio stations listen to.